Hi students, it's great to be back with you after quite a long absence. Life gets in the way sometimes, and I'm really excited to be bringing a new video to you, which is another sacred song. Now, I know a lot of you guys are church singers and that you often sing sacred songs in church as part of the service. And I love getting feedback from you when you've performed something, especially if it's something that I've been able to help you with on the channel. So I'm hoping that you'll find this one really useful as well. This is Pie Jesu by Fauré, and it's from his Requiem Mass. So what we'll do first is go through text, and then we'll learn the melody and some breathing and some dynamics. And then we'll talk about keys as well. Actually, maybe I should do that now because I'm going to teach it today in a lower key than it was originally written. It's written for soprano, and it's actually quite high for a lot of people. So I've just transposed it down a little bit, a couple of tones into G, and hopefully that will make it a little bit easier for everybody. And then at the end, I'll sing it in G, and I'll maybe sing it in the original key of B flat as well, so that you can put everything that you've learnt from the session into the final sing through. So here goes. You'll need a pencil, you'll need a copy, loads of free PDFs online you'll be able to find. And we'll do text first. So the first thing I want you to do is write down at the top of your copy somewhere the vowel sounds. So R, E, I, O, U are our Latin vowels. So if you write down A, E, I, O, U, and then next to them in the next column, A is R, like we say the word car. E is E, like bed, very open, bright sound. I is always an E sound in Latin. O is O, nice and open again, like orange. And U, the letter U, which I don't think comes in this song, but I'll say it anyway. U is like ooh, a nice forward, pouty ooh sound. So A, E, I, O, U. So this is just 101 Latin, simple Latin for your Latin songs. So their first phrase, Pie Jesu Domine. So try and avoid dome, Domine is a much nicer sound and will resonate better. Next phrase, dona eis. So you've got dona, nice and easy, eis. Requiem, dona eis requiem. And then the great news is that all repeats all the way through, all the same text until we get to the end. And then we add in sempiternam. So 4 syllables, E, A. Sempiternam. And then requiem again. And that's it. That's all your text. It just repeats again. So the other thing to know is what your text means. So because this is from a Requiem Mass, it's Pie Jesu Domine, sweet Jesus Master, dona eis requiem, give them rest. And then that all repeats till we have dona eis requiem, give them rest. Sempiternam is always eternal, requiem. Sempiternam requiem, eternal rest. So this probably isn't suitable for singing at a wedding, I would say, although I have been asked in the past to do that. But it's great for Sunday mornings, just for a contemplative piece. It's really, really beautiful. So we're just going to learn some melody first, and I'm doing this in G, remember, so it's the lower key. So that's our first phrase. I just want you to pop a breath mark after that. You mark a breath with a tick. So after domine, where there's a comma, just pop your breath in there. And just bear in mind that this is in 4/4. So we've got a pulse that's going to go throughout the whole thing of 1, 2, 3, 4. breath again there. Then the next phrase repeats, it's almost the same. Dona eis requiem. So that's our first section. I'm going to do all of that again, and I'll just make the breaths bigger than I would normally, just so that you get to hear them over the microphone. 3, 4. So again, that's our first section, and the dynamic marking is just piano. It's a very simple song, very effective, I think you'll find. Dolce e tranquillo, or tranquillo, so sweet and tranquil is the mood that we're going for. So you'll notice that I didn't really change the dynamic register very much in that first section. Then there's a little musical interlude, we'll come to that in a second, and then we've got your next phrase. And this one's mezzo piano, so it's just a fraction louder. 2, 3, 4. So, starting mezzo piano, we're going to do a little bit of a crescendo. 2, 3, 4. Then you're going to take another breath, and the next phrase continues at that dynamic that you've just arrived at. So you're sort of about mezzo forte now, and we're going to continue at that dynamic. And another breath, and then finish that section with So just to recap, the start of that section, we're going to do mezzo piano with a crescendo. The next phrase after the first breath is going to be mezzo forte throughout. And then we're going to do a little diminuendo through the last phrase, the bit that we just got to. So that's the structure of that section. I'll just say at the end, the M, the very last syllable that you sing, that's a minim, and it's really important that you hold it right to the bar line. Requiem, because it overlaps with the accompaniment, and it's important that that overlap happens. If you cut it short, we'll miss the overlap and it will be a shame. Okay, the next section is piano dolce, sweetly. Comes in on the 4th beat. 1, 2, 3. So that one starts piano, but it has a little diminuendo again at the end. And you're going to take a breath there. So mark your tick again after domine. And then the next phrase sounds like this. And again, you've got that diminuendo at the end, just to give the phrases a bit of shape. Let's put those two together. Comes in on the 4th beat. 1, 2, 3. Next phrase. Mark your tick right there. This phrase is a little bit louder. Poco crescendo, it says in my score, which is a little crescendo, so it just gets a little bit louder. Let's just do that one again. And again, on those last three notes, we just had that little diminuendo again. So let's just put those three phrases together. 1, 2, 3. Dona est Domina, Dona est Requiem, sempiternam Requiem, sempiternam Requiem. So that was your next new phrase. If you're lucky, you'll have a score that has letters in it to tell you where each section is. This is letter C if you're lucky enough to have one of those scores. So this is sempiternam Requiem. Really important that you don't breathe in the middle of that phrase. So we're going to try and go through that one. It's 2 bars. You're going to put your tick at the end of Requiem again. So you need a really big breath. And you've got lots of repeated notes in there. Repeat. So it's a phrase with just 2 notes in it. It's actually really hard to sing repeated notes in tune. So you just have to always just be aware that you need to sing exactly the same note that you've just departed from. Come back to exactly the same note. 2, 3, 4. Sempiternam Requiem. Breath. Sempiternam Requiem. Breath again there. So let's just cover all of that again. The first of those 2 new phrases, piano all the way through. Sempiternam Requiem. Quieter. Sempiternam Requiem. That has a big crescendo in it for this song. It's the most important moment in many ways. So this is the climax of the whole song. And you have to crescendo from the pianissimo, the very, very quiet start to that phrase, to mezzo forte for the next phrase, which is just coming up. So I'll do that last phrase again, and then I'll go on to the next phrase. This is the pianissimo one. Sempiternam Requiem. Pie Jesu. And then mark your tick, because that's where you're going to breathe again. So that crescendo, when you hear it with the accompaniment, is really, really effective. It's really important, and you will need to breathe after the crescendo and then come in just as loud as you got to at the end of the crescendo with the Pie Jesu part. One more time, and this time I'll continue. This is the pianissimo section again. Sempiternam Requiem. Pie Jesu. Pie Jesu Domine. So that was our new phrase there. Take a breath at the end of that. So again, another 2-bar phrase. Just mark your tick. Let's just do that one again. Pie Jesu Domine. And you'll notice that we're staying loud. After that sudden crescendo, we're going to stay at the same volume. And then for the next phrase, we're going to come down and do what's called a hairpin throughout this phrase. So it gets louder and then it gets softer as the phrase goes on. So this is the new phrase. And you can take a breath after the first dona eis if you need to. I didn't, I just did a little lift so that we heard that there was a comma there in the text. I'll just do that again for you. New breath. Sempiternam requiem. And all of that was quiet again with piano after our big hairpin, crescendo and diminuendo. We're now going to piano for the penultimate phrase. Sempiternam requiem. Breath. Pianissimo now. Quiet, quiet, quiet. Sempiternam requiem. Now you've got two options with that last phrase. You're going to want to do a rit. You're going to want to slow down because the music feels like it needs to, and that's fine. You can breathe in the middle of there. If you're going to do a really big rit, or if you're doing it maybe with a backing track and the backing track rits slows down significantly, then you're going to want to take a breath after sempiternam. So that sounds like this. Sempiternam requiem. Or you can take a huge breath and go through. It's entirely up to you. Nothing's wrong at this point. Sempiternam requiem. Just whatever you can manage. It's more important, I think, to sing it beautifully. I'd always rather take a breath and be sure that I can get through the phrases than run out and ruin all the work that you've done up to this point by suddenly needing to breathe in the middle of a word or something. So that's the whole song. I'm going to sing it again now for you, and I hope you'll join in and sing it with me. One thing I just want to say about the very, very beginning, you know how I said it's in 4, it's got that constant pulse of 1, 2, 3, 4. You actually really need to know that, because you'll find that when you look at the sheet music, you've got a bar of just 4 counts that you have to count in your head before you start singing. So this is what you hear before you sing. 2, 3, 4. Then the interlude between. Two, breathe, 4. Requiem. Sempiternam requiem. Sempiternam requiem. Sempiternam requiem. I hope you found that really useful. I will now just sing that in the original key of B flat. So this is just 2 tones higher than we have been doing it. So this is for if you have a high voice. So you will have been able to do the work in the lower key and then hopefully transfer all of that across into the higher key. I should say at this point as well, there are loads of backing tracks available on YouTube. So you'll be able to find something in the key that you want, whether it's lower or higher, that you can practice with. So here we go. This should now be in the new key, the high key. The overlap I talked about before. 3. Do hope you found that useful for you. I hope you will be able to sing this in church sometime. It's one of my favourite things to sing. Also, just remember It's really helpful to me. I absolutely love getting your comments. So if you could like and subscribe and hit the notifications button, then as soon as I'm ready to put another thing up, I'll do that for you, and just let me know what you fancy next. I'm really happy to stick with the sacred song route, or if there's something else that floats your boat and I can do it, let me know, because I'd love to help out. I've really enjoyed singing with you today. I hope you enjoy singing this song in the near future. Look forward to hearing from you. Bye.